Once again, I'm very sorry for the quick glitch that happened in the microphone. The audio wasn't coming there, but I hope it is now, and I hope that you can hear me. So, as we're continuing our discussion here, in fact, once again, the fact that this happened is such a good connection to the major topic we want to cover today, and that's about why sometimes our thoughts and our mind it can feel like they're both running in two different directions. That on one end we want to achieve a lot of things and there's a lot of ideas and there's a lot of buzz going on, yet on the other end there's a storm and we're unable to manage it, and our mind then feels like a wild horse that's out of our control. Tell me in the chat box, like, how many of you have had this experience that when you are thinking about something, you have an idea, you have a project in mind, or there's something you want to do in your personal life, but for some reason or the other, it's getting delayed. There are challenges coming up, there are barriers coming up, and you're just not able to figure out why you're stuck. You're thinking a lot, you're worrying a lot, you're doing a lot of things inside your mind, and yet, in real life, nothing is happening. On the other hand, I'm sure you've also had different kinds of experiences in your life where, for some moment or the other, you had a wonderful state of flow that got created. It was like you and the work, they were one. Nothing was coming in between you, and it seemed like hours were passing by like minutes. You were at some of your best productivity, at some of your best capacity. For those moments of flow, your mind was not here and there. Your mind was right here. It was not like a wild horse, it was like a tame horse, a race ready horse that's just focused on the finish line, that's just focused on the end goal, and it's running fast in that one direction only. All of us have had those experiences where we have those glimpses of our mind's power being unlocked in that state of flow, and we ourselves are shocked. Wait a minute, am I the one who's achieving so much, who's creating all of this, who's having so much success? Well, yes, you are. The problem is, we are not used to it. We're only used to the wild horse side of our mind, which is just running out of our control. That these experiences of flow, of strength, of creativity, of power, they feel like extraordinary experiences, like rare experiences, like something that happens by chance every once or twice. But what if I told you there's a science to how you can create it? There is practical steps you can take to actually turn your mind into your most biggest superpower, rather than just another thing that works against you, where you can have all your thoughts aligning in the direction of success that you want, rather than running haywire into different directions. And that is why, before we do any other topics as we continue our live sessions, I wanted to address this core thing today, because I've been seeing focus is something so many of us are struggling with now. And we blame social media for it, we blame the algorithms for it, we blame AI for it as well to some extent, or we blame Netflix for it. But my only question is, none of those platforms or none of those people or none of those CEOs or CMOs or CXOs or whatever you want to call those executives, none of them are coming into your home and forcing you to open the apps. None of them are coming into your home and turning on a movie on Netflix. None of them are forcing you to do something you do not want to do. Out of habit, out of lack of willpower, out of your mind feeling like a wild horse that's out of your control, yes, you end up giving into those, but all they're doing is that frying your focus. Simple as that. They are frying your ability to focus and achieve a flow state. Now, I'm not against social media, but my simple question is, what is wild? Something that is focused and aligned and in one direction, or something that can randomly, unpredictably go anywhere? The second one is the wild kind, right? And what's happening every time you scroll on social media mindlessly? You're becoming more like a wild horse. Your mind is learning to seek rewards every 30 seconds. Your mind is understanding that, wait a minute, why do I need to work hard? Why do I need to even try to get into a flow state if the rewards that I want, the dopamine that I want, 30 seconds is all that I need to get to that? Well, then the problem is the dopamine, the rush, the excitement, the pleasure, that doesn't feel meaningful, and life feels meaningless, and every other thing feels unfulfilling. And rather than growing, you start to get stuck and you start to get numb. Now, this is not your fault. This is just the way your brain works. But my only question is, whose choice is it? Who is making the simple choice of either controlling their mind and using it in the right direction as the most powerful resource they have, or letting it run wild on the whims and the desires of social media algorithms? Who is making that choice? Very simply, you are the one. Now, doesn't matter if you were forced into it, doesn't matter if you accidentally fell into it, no, none of that matters. What simply matters is, are you nurturing your attention? Are you nurturing your focus? Are you nurturing your mind like an important resource? Or are you just wasting it away like extra money you don't care about? And the funniest part is, this time, this attention cannot come back like the extra money that can come back. It is not a renewable resource. So I really want you to sit with this question today, and I want you to ask yourself this: are you really using your time to the best of your level? Are you really making sure that your focus and your energy are aligned to the direction that best serves you and your goals? Are you really aligning yourself with the fact that no matter what happens, you are the controller of your life, you are the controller of your destiny? You see, I was recently talking to somebody, and that person was really struggling a lot in moving things forward in her career. And she was saying that, you know what, I'm trying a lot, I want to do this, but it's just too overwhelming. I'm not able to do it. It's like my mind is out of my control. I have so many ideas, but I implement nothing. And by the end of the day, I end up doing nothing at all. Then I asked her, and I had a few conversations with her. And the funniest thing that came up was, actual action taking on the career is on the backside. What is taking more priority is actually scrolling and watching movies for at least 3 to 4 hours a day. Now, is scrolling bad or is movies bad? No, not at all. But for that person, they became a crutch. They became a problem because her attention, her focus, her time was moving away from her like a wild horse she could no longer control. Even if she wanted to sit down and focus, she was not able to. But as she worked on this and as she consciously made better decisions, the amazing thing that happened is, now the desire to go back to those things isn't even there. Why? Because the work she's doing, the focus she's having, the impact she's creating in people's lives through that feels so much more fulfilling than a simple mindless scroll. One thing gives you dopamine, the other gives you fulfillment and satisfaction. These two are completely different things. But to get to the fulfillment and satisfaction is where you need to get back in control of your mind, your thinking, and the way your attention, focus, and space are going to things. So, the very simple way to do that first is build awareness. If you haven't done that in a while, I'd suggest go and check the screen time on your phone, and you'll be surprised by what actually shows up. You may have been avoiding the number, you may have been like, I don't really want to look at it, but trust me on this. If you don't look at it, you will not improve. Awareness is the first step to change. I always say that, right? And see, if I want you to be here for the next 15 minutes and I want you to actually go out and implement all the amazing things we're going to be talking about in all sessions moving forward from today's one, can I really have an unfocused version of you implementing the stuff? No. Then you'll say, well, Prabhsimrat, I learned from you, I implemented, it didn't work. The question is, did you implement it properly? And I don't want to let you have that excuse, so that's why I'm talking about this today first. That is your mind in your control? Is your attention and focus in your control? Or is it in control of your thumbs that have become automatic? Now, I'm taking the example of scrolling in social media and digital consumption because that's prevalent in our world today. But any and all escapisms that you go to numb your mind, they belong in the same category. The simple question is, are you going to let them control you like a wild horse? Or are you going to take back the control? Are you going to take back the reins and say, no, this is not acceptable? I decide how much time, when, where, and how I spend, even on consumption, even on movies, even on scrolling. But I'm conscious of it rather than like an unconscious person just going through the whims and the loops and everything else, right? That's the main thing. And it's also my selfish intention, as I said, that if your focus is better, if your attention is better, you will implement everything better, you will have a better life, and that will get me a better reputation as well. So it's a win-win for all of us. That's why I want to help you reclaim your focus and reclaim your life. Now, that's the first step, awareness. So, if you haven't done it yet, go after this live, check your screen time, see where your time, focus, and attention are really going. And once you do that, the next step is ask yourself, am I okay and happy with the way this time is going? Because for some of you, that could actually be yes. Like, for example, for some hours of my day, at least 1 or 2 hours, I somehow end up spending on WhatsApp. Not because I'm just chatting with friends, but because I'm listening to voice notes from my coaches. I'm responding to them. I'm having conversations. I'm starting off new discussions. I'm sharing ideas. So there's a lot of communication that happens on that app. Now, rather than being a waste of time for me, that app is the powerhouse of my business and my productivity. So I'm okay to spend that time on it. But I also recognize myself, wait a minute, I may be spending more time on Instagram than necessary. After all, it feels good, right? It feels amazing. And it feels like a lot of pleasure. But the moment I became aware of it, I recognized it, I took a step back, and I realized this one thing, right? Control is in my hands. I can master my mind by simply making the decision to do so. And so I did. I started implementing simple actions. I rediverted my focus to the things that mattered, and now my scrolling is come down to a bare minimum. It's not that I'm not scrolling at all. Even I love to do it sometimes. But the question again is it conscious or unconscious? Is it helping you, or is it just relaxing you, or is it taking over your life and sabotaging the progress and the goals that you want to achieve? That's the ultimate question. So if your screen time is supporting you and your goals, keep it. Go ahead with it. No problem at all. But if you see, wait a minute, I'm spending time on things that don't really matter, then, my friends, make the decision and start the change now. Doesn't really hurt to try it, right? After all, what's going to happen? Maybe 1 week you try to reduce your usage, like, no, I'm miserable, I don't want this anymore. Go right back to it. No one's stopping you. But can you, for 1 week, learn to be the controller of your mind, your attention, your time, and your focus? Because if you do, the level of power, confidence, and strength you unlock is that of an achiever. Because then you know, if even those well designed algorithms couldn't pull me back in and I could focus on the things that mattered, I can create anything in my life. Remember, ultimately, the choice is yours. So I hope you'll start implementing these tiny steps today and start reclaiming your focus to create space for the life that matters, to create space for the life that you want, and not to live life through the lens of somebody else through a 6-inch screen in your hands. It's time to be that creator. It's time to be that strong force. It's time to embrace that power. Now, that power has always been with you, will be with you, and the way you can unlock it is through all the sessions we did before. Everything we'll be talking about further, but the first step is creating space for it. That's what today's awareness and action step does as you reclaim your time and energy from the places that are not so empowering for you. Thank you so much for watching this session. Once again, I apologize for the tiny technical glitches that were there, but I hope it was valuable. I hope you got some more insights, and I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time. That is 8:30 p.m. IST. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you once again soon. Bye.